everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie. Today I'm going to do the what I plan to pan and my panning goals for 2022. I saw Sarah Rose do this last year. I did a video like this last year, and a lot of people are doing their updates to that video and their new goals. So I'm going to join in on the fun. I have 3 different types of goals for myself. I've got use goals, products I want to hit pan on, and products I want to finish in the new year. So those are the 3 sections. I will leave timestamps down below in chapters for those 3 different sections if you're more interested and want to skip around. The first thing I wanted to mention though is my first goal is to maintain my personal expirations. So years back, I kind of set these rules for myself that any powder product that's been in my collection for 5 years or more has got to go. If I haven't finished it in 5 years, I'm not going to finish it, and it's just getting too old for me to be comfortable with. So that is one of the rules. The other one has to do with non-powder products. I will only have up to 3 years. Of course, if anything gets funky before that, it's leaving my collection. But having those rules has helped me kind of keep things in perspective when I buy makeup and the inventory I have. For example, if I have 10 lipsticks, yeah, in 3 years, I probably could get quite a few of those used up, or at least halfway used. But if I had 30 lipsticks, I don't know that I could even get close. So it does help me kind of keep my collection in check, but it also helps me know that my collection is pretty up to date. So in 2022, I only have 2 products actually that are going to meet their expiration for my standards, and they're both lip products. So the first one is a lip liner from Ulta. This is the matte lip liner in the shade Spicy. This was with the Melissa Michelle collab. It's a beautiful berry kind of shade. 2022 will be the 3rd year I've had this. I don't plan to use it up or anything, but I do want to get more use out of it. So this is on my radar. I will also be monitoring if it kind of goes funky, it'll leave me sooner. But this is the first one. And the second one is another Ulta Beauty product, actually, the Velvet Matte Lip Crayon in the shade Terrestrial. I actually really like this, and this is kind of a product that has been overlooked. So it's just a nice nude shade there, and it's a twist up lip crayon. So I don't have that much left. But this is also something that I need to either use or lose by the end of the year. All right, let's start with the use goals. So the first use goal I have is for a specific palette. This is the ColourPop Fade into Hue palette. I bought this in 2021, so earlier this year, and this is the only rainbow palette I have. I'm typically a very neutral eyeshadow kind of gal, but I wanted to get a colorful palette because I did recognize that a lot of the palettes that are released for Christmas time or for Halloween have very kind of vibrant colors, and this palette just kind of had everything I wanted in it. It's got light shades, deeper shades, it's got every kind of color. I did pop out the 4 glitters. I just don't use pressed glitters, and then I have this blue actually in a little Z palette because I'm working on the shade right now. But my goal is to use every shade in here twice. So I will be doing kind of a separate project to track this, and you guys will see that coming in January. So there's 26 eyeshadows in here because I got rid of the 4 glitters, and I want to use each shade 2 times, so that's 52 uses. So that's basically I have to use a colorful shade once a week. But that's kind of the point, is I want to get to know this palette more. I bought it. I don't want to just own it to say I own a rainbow palette. I want to actually try to learn how to use different colors and experiment and just dive into it. I also work from home full time now, so it's a little bit easier for me to play with makeup and colors than if I realize yeah, that looks crazy. I can just go wipe it off real quick. It's not such a commitment when I'd have to go to the office and commit to the green eyeshadow, So that is the first kind of use goal. The next use goal I have is for these NYX Butter Gloss. This is one of my favorites in the shade Creme Brulee. I know that these are a beast to finish. So my goal is to use it 50 times this year. I love it. It's one that I can have in my pocket, at my desk, and just reapply throughout the day, every day. It's a nude shade, so I'm not really worried about that 50 number, but I just want to get some very good significant use on it, because this is also one that I overlook. If I get a new lip product, this is totally going back in my collection so I can work on a new one. But this is one that I've had for a little bit. I really like it. So I think using it kind of having it in my handbag or at my desk would be a good fit. So I want to try to use this 50 times. Okay, the next 3 use goals I have are a little bit more broad. So the first one is I want to use every lip product I own 15 times each. And the goal between this is kind of twofold. So in my project pan this past year, I set a goal to use my like bright, fiery red lipstick 15 times. And it was kind of a struggle for me. Like I like it for here and there. And I like the idea of owning a red lipstick. It's like that fantasy self thing. But actually having to use it 15 times was a struggle. And I want to go through that process with all of my lip products to really determine what colors do I naturally feel like I can use, which ones am I struggling with, which ones maybe I don't want to have. So that's going to be a goal of mine. I currently have 13 lip products, so it shouldn't be too bad to get through that. I also want to use every cheek product I own, so blush, bronzer, and highlight 30 times each, because those products have so much in the different compacts that in order to like actually start to use them and see wear on them, you've got to make sure you're using them, right? So I currently have 3 bronzers. I'm not too worried about, rotating through those. I have 7 blushes. This is the category that makes me a little nervous. But I think I can kind of work it into my project pans and rotate with makeup baskets and it'll be okay. And I have 4 highlighters. So that highlighter thing seems pretty manageable to me. It's really the blushes I'm a little bit nervous about. My last use goal is to use each of my Super Shock eyeshadows 10 times each. I have 3 of them and they're all in eyeshadow palettes. So I have 2 in the Wild Nothing palette and 1 in the That's Taupe palette that I own from ColourPop. So I just want to make sure I use them each 10 times. I love them, but I kind of forget that I have them. So that's why I'm kind of making a point to have these goals. And this is a great like project pan item for me to roll in, use it 10 times, roll it out type thing. The next category I have are the products I want to hit pan on. So I have the goal to hit pan or finish 10% of my eyeshadow collection. So I currently have 120 eyeshadows. So I would like to hit pan on 12 of those eyeshadows. That's my goal for the year. I already have pan on a number of them, but I just want to hit pan on 10% more. And like I said, it's actually hit pan or finish because I do have a couple shades I think I can finish up this year. But that's going to be the goal. It doesn't have to come from a specific palette necessarily, but I would like to go through my palettes and try to hit pan on 1 additional shade each this year, excluding the rainbow palette because I'm going to do a use goal thing with this. But all of the other palettes, I have 8 other palettes that I would like to hit pan, at least 1 from each palette. So that would be 8 out of the 12. So I think that's kind of going to be helpful for me to rotate through and also get to know my collection a little bit more. The last item I want to hit pan on is an actual specific product. So this is my Hourglass Quad from the 2020 holiday collection. And I would like to hit pan on this powder here. I'm using it to set my under eyes. I really, really enjoy it. This is the finishing powder in the shade Soft Light. It's beautiful. Like I said, I use it under my eyes. I can also kind of use it in the center of my forehead, on my nose, and my chin to just add a subtle glow. But it's awesome. So I would love to hit pan on this. I mean, the only way I'm going to do that is by using it every day. But it's also the only like under eye setting powder I have. So it shouldn't be too hard for me to do that. But I also know that Hourglass powders are kind of like beastly. So that is going to be a goal of mine to actually hit pan on that powder. I have a pretty good dip going and it's like a lot more flat than domed. So, I'm on my way, but I've got a long way to go too. All right, the last section of this video are the products that I want to finish up. So the first one is this Ulta Terrestrial lipstick that I talked about at the beginning. This is meeting my personal expiration this year, so I do want to finish it. It is a nude, like neutral type of shade. I don't have that much left, so I probably will have this in a project pan with a sheet of paper to track the progress. But this is the first item I definitely want to finish up in my collection. Another one that I've been working on that I want to finish up is the Ulta Beauty single eyeshadow in the shade Pure as Snow. This is the shade that I'm using to set my eyeshadow primer, to do my like highlight on my brow bone, to help blend anything. It's a great shadow. So this is where I'm at. I do already have a decent amount of pan there. This is a pretty deep pan. It's 1.7 grams. And yeah, I really love that it came in this single packaging though. This is awesome and it's magnetic so I can pop it out when I'm done with the pan and put something else in. But I would like to move this one out. I've had it for a few years, and because it's a utility shade, it's something I use every day. I'm not really worried about this conflicting with other shadows I might be trying to hit pan on and things like that. So I would like to finish this one up. I have a lip gloss here that I'd like to finish up. This is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. I have the shade Fussy, and it did actually kind of get shaken up, but I am on the packaging. It says Fenty Beauty in this like very shiny, writing here, and I'm about the U of beauty. So I have about like this much left. It's really not that much. I was working on trying to finish it this year and I didn't quite get there. So I definitely would like to finish it. I would actually probably take the stopper out when it gets to be that time and really try to scrape it. I love the formula. I did purchase another gloss bomb at the Sephora VIB sale, so I have another shade and I still have the formula in my life. So I'm okay with finishing this one up because I have something else I can use that's in the same formula that I really enjoy. Okay, 2 more products that I definitely want to try to finish this year, and they're both bronzers. So this is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer. I don't know what shade because I don't have any sort of like sticker or label on the back, but I do already have pan on this. It's a matte bronzer. I do enjoy it. I haven't really been using it. I've been focusing on my Hourglass bronzer and that quad. So it's been a while since I've reached for this one, but I do have, like I said, a very significant pan in here. And I think that, if I made this my everyday bronzer, I probably could finish it up in the first half of the year without a problem. So this is something that I want to definitely try to finish up. And the other bronzer I have is from this Physicians Formula little palette. This is the Glow Face Palette. And they have the butter bronzer in here. I also have hit pan in here. And actually on the side, I have a lot of side pans. So it's pretty far like down because of it being in the palette, and it's a pretty small pan. My brush was just like moving the whole thing down. So this will actually probably go really fast. I already have a little bit of pan, and I think that just because of how it's worn down and how small the pan size is, it'll go really quickly. This is a little bit deep for me right now, but in the spring and summertime, I will probably make this my go-to bronzer and just get it out of my collection that way. I like the butter bronzer. This is just a little bit too deep for me. I would have preferred to have like the lighter version, but that's okay. So these are all of the products that I want to focus on. I've got use goals, I've got hit pan goals, I've got finish goals, and I'm definitely looking forward to the different projects I'm going to be doing. I will be doing a rolling style project pan throughout the year, similar to what I did this year, but I also will have something fun going on with the rainbow palette. I'm going to do some fun things with eyeshadows. So I am so invigorated and looking forward to the new year. I'd love to hear from you what your panning goals are. If you've done this video or if you've posted about this on Instagram, let me know so I can go find you and check it out. I just think that these are really fun videos, and hearing the reasons why people want to focus or use up the products that they've chosen is also fun for me to hear about. So love to hear from you. That's it for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.